Hi guys, today we're going to make a 3-ribbon bow on Pro Bow the hand. You can do it and have the most beautiful bow you've ever made with just a little training on Pro Bow the hand. So let's get started. We have our Pro Bow the hand today. We're going to make a 3-ribbon bow. I have done some tutorials on a 1-ribbon bow and a 2-ribbon bow, but I think even if you haven't seen those, you will be able to make this bow. Now, first thing I did was pick out my ribbon. I picked 3 ribbons. These are each 2.5-inch wide ribbons. They don't have to be that wide. They can be narrower. They can even be, 4 inches, whatever you want to use. But this one is white with glitter, silver glitter polka dots. The one I'm using here is metallic. I don't know if you can see it. It's a little transparent when it's just up in the air, not next to something. It's metallic, 2.5-inch. And this is the third one. It's black with white writing. It says Holly Jolly, and it says Merry Christmas and several things like that. Again, it's 2.5 inches wide. I will want you to note that each edge of each ribbon has wire in it, a very thin wire. I really don't like to use anything that's not wired for my projects, unless it's a hair bow for a cheerleader or something. So this is my Pro Bow. If you don't have one, what you get when you order it is you get the Pro Bow the hand base. You get a spool holder. This holds 3 spools of ribbon. Now I ordered an extra one in case I wanted to do 6. So I have my 3 set up over here that I want to use today. You also get a big bag of pegs that you can put in. You have enough pegs for everything. And the other thing we need today is we need 2 wires. These are 20 gauge, and they come in a pack like this. They're 18 inches long. You can use whatever gauge you want. I really wish I had a smaller. I wish I had a 26 gauge or 28, but that's all I have with me today. So you always need a pair of scissors. Doesn't matter what you do, you'll need some scissors. Let's get started here. Now, when you put your spools on, you want to make sure that when they unwind, that they are going clockwise. Notice this one. Watch this one. See how it moves clockwise so you want to think of it as coming out from the right if you have it over here on your right hand side. So I have my 3 ribbons. I've pulled the 3 out, put them together. Doesn't matter really which order because you're just going to get a bunch of loops. You'll be poofing those loops, so it really won't matter in this case how many or where you place your ribbons. All right, I'll take my first wire, and the first thing I want to do with my ribbons, just get, fairly close to the end. You don't need much. We're going to do the tail of the bow, or the streamers, at the very end. So here are my ribbons. I just want to pinch them or scrunch them. Do not fold them, just give it a pinch. Now, I'm going to take one of my wires, I always say that, and I'm going to take about the midpoint of the wire, and I want to fold it down and maybe back up again, maybe even down again, just to hold that securely. Now, here's the next thing that's very important. Now, I am using the middle finger today. Sometimes I don't use the middle finger, but I am using it today. But I want you to come on this peg right here, about midway, and we want to just sort of scrunch it, and you'll find out why in a minute. Now watch this. We're going to take our ribbon with the pretty side, or what we call the right side, showing. We want to come up, come around that middle finger, and back down to this. And I want to put the middle, or the where I scrunched it, I want to put it right up against this thumb. Now the next thing I want to do is secure it to the thumb. So I go to the left here. I just wrap around, wrap around, wrap around, wrap around. At the end, you might want to leave a little space so that when you undo this, you have something to grab. Now remember, this scrunchie is from top to bottom of this finger. Needs to be about in the middle. What we're doing now is just securing our ribbons to the Pro Bowl. If you will look closely, you'll see a little nail. You want to pull down. I'm holding this so it won't make it slide down. I make one loop. I stick it underneath the bow maker. Some people do this. Some people leave a little hoop coming out so they can catch it, but I usually just stick it under all the way. Okay, look what we've done. We've secured it. We have started our loop. And we take this loop. We want to go, well, let me get this set where you need to have it. We're ready to scrunch. Now, as I said, don't just fold it over. I scrunch. I take my first little fold, you might call it, I said don't fold, but anyway, I like to let the edge of the ribbon be on the wrong side of when you finish, but that's not really too important. The next thing I want to do is hold my scrunch on top of the other scrunch, right where in the middle from top to bottom, right where I secured my ribbon with the wire. I'm ready now to make a loop over here on the right hand side. I'll do one on the right, then I'll do one on the left, one, then another right, another left, and so forth until we finish. So what I'm going to do is the bottoms up method. Regina Sellers, who created this bow maker, says to use the bottoms up, and I like that term. But what it means is to take the bottom of your ribbon and make a half twist and just, see, this bottom is right here. I want to bring it up to the top. Now another way you might remember which way to turn, because you actually could have turned the other way and brought the bottom to the top. You want to go in the direction that you're going to make your next loop. I'll show you that again and again, so don't worry if you didn't get it this first time. Okay, here we go. We're ready. We've got our second loop going. And my ribbon's all going here. I think I pulled on one of them a little too much, but it's okay. It's doing very well. I don't know if you can see, but over here my ribbons are straight. It just makes a little curve here, but watch what happens. When I get down here, I want to do another bottoms up. I have to pinch, and again I just make a little scrunchy pinch right here. I want to take my ribbon with This is the bottom. I want to make a half twist and turn it up to the top. Now I want you to notice something. That little loopy-doop that was in my ribbon is gone, and it's straight again. That doesn't happen when you do it by hand. Usually you have your ribbon maybe in the floor and you're trying to manage it and it's all over the place. Now in a minute I'll show you how to use the helping hand. At this point I'm not having to use it yet, but I'll show you in a minute. So now you see why we did the half twist? Now the good side of the ribbon is on the outside of the loop so that we can see it. Another thing you need to know is that this area is the top of the bow. If you were making it by hand, it would be that top part. This is going to be the bottom. So I want my good side of the ribbon to be facing up here. If I were looking, if I lifted this up and looked down on it, I could see the good side. So here we go. Now I'm going to go ahead and introduce the helping hand wire. This ribbon's doing really well, and I might not even need it right now. You can incorporate this after you've made one loop or after you've made a few, but here's what you do. Just sort of get the middle, scoot it to the right of the thumb. You see where it's coming out here? It's coming out on the right-hand side of this thumb. And I'll just let that go for a second because I don't think my loops are going anywhere. But here's what I want to do. Well, actually, I want to go here next to the middle and to the right of the thumb. Now look, these wires meet right here in the middle. And you know, it was staying up there pretty well. I want it to stay. I want all my scrunches to be on top of each other coming out this way. And I want this portion where they do overlap each other, I want that to be in the middle from top to bottom of the thumb. So this is a helping hand in case I need to do something, or I just get too much ribbon in my hand, or maybe you have trouble with your hands hurting if you're holding the ribbon. You know, I could sit here and hold this every time I make a loop, but it's so much better to have a wire there. We're ready for another scrunch or a pinch. Let's see, what was it they used to give you when you got a spanking for having a birthday? A pinch to grow an inch. Okay, I'm putting it over there. I still have my 3 ribbons coming out from my spool, but I have to do something before I wrap. If I wrap this way, look what side's going to show. The bad side, the ugly side. All right, I've done that. I've twisted it, and it comes out perfectly. And all the ribbons are doing so well. So let's go back to the middle. And it didn't even shift, so I didn't use the helping hand that time. I could have twisted it. I will this time, just to show you. So again, I'm ready for a pinch. Just want to just pinch, 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 pinch. Put it right on top of this last pinch. And you know what? I think I'll use my helping hand. So I'll bring that up, bring that one down, and I could just leave it like that. I don't even have to twist it. I can if I want to. So it's holding for me. I'm here. I've got my middle loop, 2 over here, 1 over here, so I'm ready for this one. But that famous bottoms up comes into play here. So I go bottoms up. I went in the direction, let me do it again. I want to swoop this bottom in the direction of the side I'm working on. I'm working on the left-hand side, so I wanted to swoop it up in that direction. And that is the secret to keeping your ribbons from wrapping around each other. Now, you might want to study maybe you're into physics and you want to figure that out. I don't really care as long as it works. So now I want to pinch. I'm here at the middle of my bow again, and I'm ready for my bottoms up. So I take the bottom of this ribbon and give it a half twist. Take it up here with my fingers, maybe put it between these two fingers. I've got another one. Let me get my helping hand over there. Now I've got another loop, and this loop has 3 ribbons on it. All my loops will have 3 ribbons. You don't have to do 3 ribbons. Let me use my helping hand. Okay, I just sort of twisted that one. It's getting a little, let me show you. See how many of these I've got, and they're all on top of each other. They're all in line, let's say it that way. They are all in line. So, I'm ready for another one. Guys and gals, we are coming right along. So, make sure my helping hand is down. It won't do me much good if both helping hands are above the ribbon. So again, I've got my right side out here where I can see it. It's on the top. I'm ready to scrunch. Put it right on the middle where my helping hand is. Put it right there. I might need to scrunch a little further back. There we go. Now I want to take my 3 ribbons, and I want a half twist. You know, I think where some people get mixed up, when we say take the bottoms up, we don't say half twist. We say twist it up. Well, I think some people think you mean take a full twist. So you'll see people sometimes they want to twist it all the way around. If you do that, you're back where you started. Only you've got a big bunch of ribbon in the way. I think I'll go ahead and use my helping hand at this point. I brought the bottom one up and the top one down. Look at that. I'm ready for the next loop, and all my good sides are showing. Actually, I think I'll go ahead and make a twist in that helping hand loop there. I'm ready for bottoms up. This is the bottom right here. I've got my hand on the bottom. I've scrunched it, I twisted up half twist. And then I just go ahead, since it's in my hand, and I go ahead and make my other loop. Whoops. And then I think I'll use my helping hand again. Oh, I love that so much. I'm ready for another scrunch. I hope this is not getting boring to you. It really is the same thing over and over till we get to the end. I'll show you something. We're going bottoms up. We did a half turn. I used my helping hand here. so that it won't move on me. I did my half turn. I'm ready for my next loop. And I'm back down here. I'm already scrunching again. You know, and you'll get used to the scrunching and it'll come easily. A little bit more ribbon out. Here's my helping hand. Use that again. That little dude comes in handy. Now, the ribbon's really not messed up. It's really going the right way. I'm the one that just, I think I stuck my arm in it or something. But it's not twisted or anything. But I will say one thing. I found that the metallic ribbon is a little harder to work with just because it wants to stick on everything. But it turns out beautifully and it's really not much trouble to use. So I'm going to pull my ribbon out. At this point, this is the bottom. And I turn it bottoms up, half turn, and take my fingers, go around here. What I haven't been doing was I need to pull on my ribbon to get enough out here to do the next loop, and I haven't been pulling it like I should. Okay, so I'm ready to look. One more loop on each side. Y'all, I already have one of these done, and it is gorgeous. I'll show you the picture at the end, of course, the finished product, and you will love it. It would be beautiful if you have a big wreath. Our church has some big wreaths, and our bows are getting yucko, so I think I'll make some of these nice big bows for our wreaths at church. You don't have to make it this big. If you have a wreath that's smaller and you want to make a smaller bow, you just use your the peg as your guide and make whatever size you want. So here we go again. I'm ready to, okay, bottoms up. This is the bottom. I want to make a half turn up. The last loop on the right side. And then we're ready for the, I did it again. I didn't pull my, I should have pulled my ribbon out better off the spool, but it's okay. It'll work. So here we go. I'm ready for a scrunch. Ready for my helping hand. Then, look at this. We are ready for the last loop. And if I had been pulling my ribbon out like I'm supposed to, it wouldn't be any problem. Okay, so here we are. Here's the bottom. Bottoms up. And I am ready for the last loop. Now, some people, at this point, we could make streamers, but I don't know if this is going on a tree or a wreath or what, so I hate to make the streamers right now. We can always make them later, but I will tell you how you can do the streamers. I would go ahead and do the bottoms up here. I'm using my helping hand to hold these in place. Okay. Ah, I can already tell it's going to be beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Before I show you the streamers, though, look at this. Look, could you hold all that in your hand to make a bow? That would be really hard, but all of these are in a row because of my helping hand. So, one way to make the streamers, though, if you're ready for streamers, you know where you're going to put it, how long your streamers need to be, and so forth. I would do the bottoms up so that your ribbon is still facing that way. And when you take it off to fluff it, you can still turn your ribbon. But just measure out how long you want your streamer to be. Now this would give you 3 streamers. But if you want all the streamers you can get, if you want 6, what you would need to do is pull out more of your ribbon and measure out twice the length you need for your streamers, because then you're going to twist it and you could take your helping hand. Then when you cut it right here in the middle, right here, you've got 3 streamers, 3 streamers. You could even cut them, if you want some to be shorter, cut it up a little shorter on one side. If you want dovetail in the ends, when you get it cut, dovetail your ends. But that's how you can make streamers on both sides. Or if you just want 3 streamers, let's say you're making a smaller bow and you just want it for a package, you might just want to make them out to the end of the loop. You might want a little longer, but you might just want 3. So you wouldn't go through this process of circling it. Now, we have finished our loops, and our helping hand has really worked well. I'm going to push this in a little bit, just get them as tight as I can, because you know, if you've ever fluffed a bow, you can pull them out if they're not. You can, when you're pulling on your loops, they can easily be pulled out. So we got that, but remember that wire we had in the beginning? This was just a helper. This wire, remember we left a little end right there so that I could grab it and just pull it off. You might want to straighten it as much as possible for now. And this is the top, remember the top half. Where did the other half go? Underneath, and I only wrapped it around once, so I just have to do one little turn to unwrap it. Now, these two, this wire, this very first wire we put on, not the helping hand, that's really the wire that's going to hold your bow together, and you want to tighten it as much as possible. Now, my mother used to, before she passed away, she was had a little florist, and she would use needle nose pliers sometimes to tighten. I'm sort of afraid of those because your wire can break, and I think I can get it pretty much by myself. Here it is. Look at the bow. There it is. We're done. No, we're not done. We're not done. We've got a job to do. I'm just putting my hands under there, lifting it off. Look at that. Guess what I have to do now? I have to fluff. I have to poof, whatever you want to call it. I have to poof every single one of these loops. Not just the ones that I don't just spread that out like that. I have to, each of these has 3 loops, so I have to straighten it all out. What I'm using here is my own handmade fluff box. I would advise buying a fluff box from Regina. I think I am going to do that. They're not that expensive. I put my nail in the wrong spot. I should have put it up here, which I can change that. And this is just a cup holder hook, and I got mine too big. I should have had a smaller hook. But Regina's fluff box will have everything just like it's supposed to be. But I've just been using this one. And like I said, I put my nail too far out. So I'm going to make a little adjustment, and I put another wire through the middle, through that very middle loop. I didn't do it so that each side is halfway. I made it so that it is so the next thing I'm going to do is fluff the bow. I will hook it on. I will hook the best I can onto these wires. I will hook this cup holder to that. And why I'm messing with these ribbons, I don't know. Let me cut these off. We're through with this. I'll cut a little bit. Now, all right, I used what wire I could, and I've got it on my hook. I wrap it around the nail, just a time or two maybe. Push that down, and I'm ready to fluff. Can you see? Now, you can start wherever you want. If you want to start with your middle loop, that would be this one. So let's just do that. And I see a little ribbon there from that edge. I'll cut that off. But you're going to have, just remember, you are going to have more silver than black in this. But I try to alternate the way I open the bows a little bit. See, I think I'll go this way. I've got two silvers, but they're different. Then I don't want two blacks on top of each other, so I just did that. And you can do it randomly, and then you can go back when you're finished, but you might even want to give it a little twist when you get it out here. And that's why I say it's so very important to have your bow tightly secured, because when you start all this pulling, if it's not, your bow will just come apart. I wouldn't want to give it any excessive pressure, but you know, we've got a pretty good with our helping hand and everything. This is just so beautiful. When it is finished, you're gonna love it. Let's see, I'll pull this one this way. Now, there's a danger in this. Sometimes you get addicted to fluffing. And I do sometimes get addicted to fluffing. I just want to fluff, fluff, fluff. And even if the project's done and it looks really good, then I can look at another side. Oh, if that ribbon were just moved a little bit, it would be a lot better. So I'm almost done with this side. Oh, well, not really, because I will fluff, till this thing leaves my house. Now, I made it this big, really, with a Christmas tree topper in mind, but, you know, you could put these on. Of course, you can pick any colors you want. If you want more of the traditional Christmas colors, look at that. That's just half of the bow. I only have half, and it's that beautiful already. So we have the other half. But if you had reds and greens and so forth, or whatever colors you like, you could, you know, put them on your windows. And I think that you could just put them on each window on the outside of your house. And that would be, you wouldn't even have to have a wreath if you had a bow this big. Everybody could see. I'll go this way. You know, I always try to get it so that they're not right together, but you can't really do that completely. But look how much more I can pull. I mean, these are some long bows, some long loops. And put black down here. Just remember though, this, since I chose, that was my choice, I chose 2 silvers and 1 black, so that means I'm going to have more silver showing than the black, and I'm not going to be able to keep all of it separated. But that's just part of it. It just naturally will look good. Look how far I can pull that, because these loops are so long. Let's see. I think I'll go this way. Wow. So we're basically done with the bow other than the fluffing. And I will show you at the end the final project. The final product, whatever, that we've been working on. And we've been working under 40 minutes. I did lots of explaining. You could make this in probably 30 minutes, and you would even get faster. You could make these and sell these. These sell sometimes for, they could go $30, $35, $40 for 1 bow. So if you learn to make it yourself, you're saving yourself some money. Or if you want to make these to sell, you can make some money. Okay, I won't bore you with all the fluffing that I'll probably do, and I'll let you take a peek. I'm not finished fluffing, but there's a peek of what it looks like. Oh my gosh, is that gorgeous or what? Side view's good, and I'll have just a few more pictures for you at the end. Thanks for watching, and please give me a thumbs up if you liked this video. Please comment if you have any suggestions or requests, or just comments. If you would subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate that too. I plan to make many more bow tutorials, plus I make wreath tutorials. So I'll be doing some more of those very soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.